Hello everyone, in this episode of the next episode of my CSS tutorial I'm gonna be talking about pseudo classes. So yeah, let's get right into it. So, what is or are pseudo classes? A pseudo class is used to define a special state of an element. For example, we can use these to style an element when a user moves the mouse over the element. Style visited and unvisited links differently. We can style an element when it gets out of focus or gets focus. We can style valid, invalid, required, and optional form elements. There's like hundreds of pseudo classes. So yeah, I'm gonna be showing you a few of them. So first of all, I'm gonna be creating a button, and then I'm gonna show you what we can do with the pseudo classes. I'm also gonna be creating a link and stuff like that. But first, I'm gonna give you an example of a button. It's gonna be using the hover pseudo class and the active pseudo class. Okay, I'm gonna cut that. So here, I'm gonna make a button with the class of btn and hover pseudo class. Alright, then I'm gonna go to the style sheet. I'm gonna take the btn. Padding will be 10 by 20 pixels. Border, none. Font weight, bold. The font size will be 1.25 em. Background color is going to be light blue. The color itself white. Border radius, let's say 25 pixels. And then display flex. Align items. Center, or actually justify content center. Let's do also align items center. There we go. Also a cursor of pointer. There we go. So I'm gonna remove the flex box. We're not gonna need that. Anyways, we got the button right over here. You don't see anything special right now, and by the way, I'm gonna be using HSL values. But if we take the button and access the hover pseudo class, we can go ahead and give it a background color. I'm gonna copy this, but I'm gonna make one change. Instead of 79 being the brightness, I'm gonna set it to be 69. So when I hover over, the button is gonna get a little bit darker. Okay, then let's copy this. Use the active pseudo class and then make this 59%. So the last value in HSL colors stands for lightness. Hue, saturation, lightness. So yeah, now when we use the active pseudo class, you can see that the button is flashing. So button hover and active. So this is what it looks like. This is how we can create some good looking buttons. Alright. We can also use different colors, like, let's go with something like that. Alright, then we can go ahead. And I'm gonna copy this, paste this, make it 60 and 50. So now when I click, it is flashing, but the effect is barely even noticeable. Let's go over here. I'm gonna use a blue color, like I did at the first time, but this time it's a different blue. Alright, and there we go. So now look at this. It flashes a lot. Alright. Then I'm gonna give you an example of a link. So, I'm gonna remove this and then styling a link with pseudo-classes. Alright, so I'm gonna create an anchor tag. Let's set the href to equal hashtag. Let's say that this is a link. Alright, so by default that's blue. Let's add a class link 23, for example. Let's take the class and then let's take a pseudo class like link. So the color will be, for example, red. So now this is the original color when we have not visited the link. So yeah, you can see that it is red. Also, I'm gonna make a style attribute. Font size will be 24 pixels. There we go. Okay, let's take the link 23 and this time we'll take the hover pseudo class. Let's make the color pink. So when we hover, the color of the link is going to be turning into pink. Then we can take the active pseudo class, and when we click that, we can make the color blue. So like this. You can see that I'm holding the mouse button down and it goes to blue. Then finally, let me add an href. So let's make this to take me to Google. Alright, and target equals underscore blank. Then link 23, and let's take the visited pseudo class and let's set the color of this one to be green, for example. So right now it's gonna be taking the visited class even though we have not visited the link. So that's a common bug that's happening, but don't let it distract you. It's still gonna take us to Google. But there is a little bit of a problem, because the other styles are not working right now. So let me actually get rid of the class. There we go. And let's see. I'm gonna select the A : hover. And do the same for all of these. There we go. Okay, now it is working again. So, this is a link. And actually, sorry, it is not. But okay, I have a couple of things to note. So, paragraph 1. I'm gonna type this, and then paragraph 2, I'm gonna be typing in this. A break tag and this. So, a hover must come after a link and a visited tag. For example, this one must be coming after the link and the visited tag. And then the active must come after a hover in the pseudo class or the CSS style sheet. Alright, and now as you can see, this finally works. So yeah. However, I cannot get the original color back, even if I refresh, even if I save. So yeah, but I can get the hover color, that's pink, click, that's blue, and visited, well, that is green. So yeah. So try to remember the order. I didn't. But maybe you can do a little bit better. So first a hover is the last. Then the active is the last, hover is the second last, and then the link and visited must come before those. So this is the order. Alright. Then I'm gonna make a horizontal rule, and I'm gonna go to the next example. Okay, I wrote an additional line, so link and visited can be in any order you want, but hover is always going to be the second pseudo class when styling links, and active is gonna be the last. So yeah. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna give you an example right now. Let's use a development for example. So I'm gonna go right over here, create a div with the class of example, and I am gonna say hover over me please. Okay, then I'm gonna take the example and I'm gonna go ahead, make the background color light green, color white, height 200 pixels, and width will be the same, and text align center, and display flex align item center, and justify content center. There we go. So right now we have the text in the center of the box. I'm gonna make the font weight to be bold, and actually I'm gonna make the color back to black. That's more visible. I'm gonna add some border, radius, 25 pixels. And then let's say a border of 4 pixels solid yellow. Okay, so now we have these styles. Let's go ahead and take the same class, but this time we are going to take the hover pseudo class. So when I hover, the background color is going to be changing into, let's see, dark orange. And when I click, so when it's active, the background color will be let's say it's gonna be dark violet. Okay, so let's try this. Okay, it's orange and it's purple or violet. So yeah, this is definitely working. Alright. Wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna give you another example. So I'm gonna remove these. And then I'm gonna be removing this div element. And I'm gonna create one that says hover over me to show the hidden content. Then inside I'm gonna say paragraph, here I am. Alright. And then I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna take the paragraph, display none. Alright. Background color is gonna be yellow. Also, I'm gonna use a class. Class equals my paragraph tree. So in this case, it won't affect this paragraph. Alright. Then the padding, let's say 20 pixels. Let's see the border. Let's take the div hover p display block. I'm gonna remove that. Okay, so that's what the div element is going to look like. Okay, so we have display none, background color yellow, and some padding. And this border was for testing, and we don't need it anymore. So when we hover over, look what's gonna happen. This. So yeah, I could also write that I appear when you hover over the paragraph above. So hover over me to show the hidden content. Here I am. I appear when you hover over the paragraph above. So yeah, that's a pretty cool one as well. This way we can create some navigation lists, for example, without using any JavaScript. So yeah. Okay, up next we are going to have the first child pseudo class. So there we go. I'm gonna show you what it is. So let's create 2 paragraphs, some text, copy that, then create a div element and copy this inside of there. So we got 4 of these paragraphs in total. These 2 are inside of a div element. So I'm gonna go to the style sheet and I'm gonna select the paragraph and take the first child And I'm gonna set the color of that to be like, let's say, blue. And it says that the first child is this one. Now why is that? Because the also I'm gonna remove these. Okay, now you can see a difference. So we got two blue paragraphs. Why does that happen? Well, because these both are the first children of some parent elements. This one is the first child of the body element. So here we go. And then this one is the first child of this div element. So yeah, this is the relationship between these ones, and this is the relationship between these ones. Alright. So yep, these paragraphs are blue because they are the first children of any element. In this case, it's the div element and the body element. So the first paragraph is a first children of the body element, and then the third paragraph is the first children of a div element. So yeah, anyways, this is going to be it for this episode, because otherwise this would be way too long, and I'm going to continue on in the next one. So continue CSS Pseudo-classes from this point. Alright, then I'm gonna make a horizontal rule, and also I am going to wish you, everybody, a wonderful day. And yep, I hope you were able to learn something new today, and I hope that I'm going to see you in the next one. There's very many of these pseudo classes, so this might take a few episodes. Anyways, bye bye everybody, have a wonderful day and see you later. And happy learning. Bye bye.